And Marcus will be doing his big sound check here in a minute.
Yeah.
Marcus, are you ready?
I'm ready if you guys are.
Go
I'm
ahead.
ready.
Roll that sound check, brother.
It's Ron. So you sure it's time for the sound check?
Sound check?
Is it time?
1, 2, 3.
It's time.
It is
1,
time.
2, 3.
Okay.
It's time.
Oh, okay. Checkmate, King 2. This is White Rick. Over.
Combat will be on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after the show tonight. So we have you.
Okay. Just checking, Ron.
Yeah, good sound check. Okay, are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
No.
I'm ready.
3,
No.
2, 1.
No.
Welcome into Drone
DeMarco's not
Nation
ready.
for
No, DeMarco's not ready.
November 21st, 2022.
Oh,
This
still
is
sharing
the Drone
screen.
Nation meets the DroneMask edition tonight. And we have a really big show tonight. We have some big time guests on who have some experience with the DroneMask. So it's going to be a great show tonight. Now, before we get into too much here, we're going to let DeMarco, who is back from he was on assignment last week at an undisclosed location, but he is returned tonight.
Dallas, Texas.
He is ready to make the big football prediction for tonight. Let me set the game up. We have the San Francisco 49ers with a record of 5-4 versus the Arizona Cardinals with a record of 4-6, and they're meeting in Mexico City tonight. And the Niners are giving up 9.5 points. DeMarco, what are your thoughts on this game?
This is a tough one, especially since I had my heart broken last week by the dang Eagles. Thanks, Ron. But so I'll make this. Yeah. This is a tough one, but I'm going with the 49ers.
Good man. Good man. So we will check in that. We will check on that game, later on tonight. And I had some little late breaking news here before we get too much here. The DJI FPV drone combo falls to the low price of $899 in the Black Friday deals. You can find that price on Amazon, Adorama, and on DJI's official eBay store. You can get that $899. That's for the basic combo. This is the original DJI FPV drone that came out almost 2 years ago at this point. So and we're going to have more Black Friday deals here in just a second. But let's get into the show here tonight. Go around the room, catch up on how everybody's doing. Marcus, how are you tonight?
Man, Ron, I am awesome. I got my little. I know we're going to be talking about this drone later on. But the little Nano Autel EVO Nano Plus. You got to get the name right.
Yeah.
This Autel has had this drone. I finally got with their customer service and opened a ticket on it. So sent it into them, and to correct it had the original gimbal isolators on there. They were installed wrong at the factory. They replaced those, although that really hadn't been that big of an issue for me. But more importantly, these downward sensors were causing me a lot of issues. The drone would land very hard. I mean, it would smack the ground when it came down. I got all kinds of false readings with them. And they repaired all that under warranty. The turnaround time was, maybe a week, maybe a day or two more than a week. Didn't take very long. And I got to go out and fly it today and test it. Showed up this morning, and man, it's perfect now. It lands. I landed it on concrete. It lands very softly. The OA seems to be working as it should. I was very happy with that, and I feel like I've had this drone for nearly a year. I ordered it about a year ago, and I think it got delivered to me on the last day of 2021 or something like that. So it's been around for a while, but it's finally working like it should have from the very beginning. So I'm happy.
Good to hear.
Well, that is certainly some good news for tonight, and we will talk more about the Nano here later in the show. DeMarco, welcome back from your travels. Good, it's good to have you back on the show. What have you been up to?
Thank you. It is good to be back. Sorry I missed you guys last week. We were at a work function in Grapevine, Texas. In fact, I'll just say something short about that. We were at a old school arcade place, and we saw games that I hadn't seen since in 30 years. I was playing Afterburner. Some of you guys might not remember.
Oh, heck yeah.
Remember that game? I was playing that. I was playing Donkey Kong. Man, this old school
Cuppi was about 5 years old when that game came out.
It probably was. Yeah, I was a.
God damn you guys. It's not my fault I'm the youngest person in the room. Jeez. I drag the average.
But no. It's good to be back.
Down.
Hey, chat. All the people in the chat, though, Cuppi and Patrick, thanks for actually, excuse me, joining us tonight. But
no, thanks for having us.
It's good to be back. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Patrick and I, we recently got together and reviewed the DroneMask. That was interesting, right? We'll probably talk about that. You know.
We're gonna cover that. We're gonna cover that in full.
No, like this actually.
I'm feeling good. I had a good fly day today. I was able to get out for a couple hours today, and I flew my plane. I actually crashed it about a month ago, and it's been down since then. But today, really, really good flight. So we might get to talk a little bit about this plane.
Okay, Josh, so you're not going to leave it at that. I want people to understand that crash was not your fault. So.
Oh, well, it was still kind of my fault. My fault.
Talk about it, but
we'll talk about that. Yeah.
I want to hear about that.
We'll get into it in full here, but let's catch up with Patrick. How are you tonight, Patrick?
Absolutely.
Doing well. I was like I said, John and I had a chance to review that mask, and it was fun.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun reviewing that mask and all of its little oddities, so to speak. I mean, it's a nice way of putting it, right?
Yeah. Plus, you look like Bubbles off of Trailer Park Boys if you leave the mask unzipped.
well, I called you Scuba Steve too, because it literally just likes to hang down on your nose. we were critical of the DroneMask, but I honestly think it had to be said. There we go. But
Marcus, we can see your eyes.
Yeah, you need to remove that cover. There you go.
There you go.
Oh God.
Hey, Mom was like, you should go take a leak with that thing on.
Oh no.
The drunk mask. Yeah, it is the drunk mask, Mark White, because you have to be drunk to buy it for that price and then like it.
Well, we're gonna get that full in just a second here, but actually, let's do one quick story, and then we're gonna get right into DroneMask here.
Absolutely.
We kind of feature all the good deals over here, and this is the DroneNation Deal today. We should have a song for something like that. But this was sent to us from our good friend Richard. I don't know if Richard's in the chat yet. SBT something. I haven't seen him in the chat yet, but hopefully he'll be in here before the show's over. He sent this deal in. You can get the Autel EVO Nano Plus, the Rugged Bundle Edition, Fly More combo in white or gray, anyhow, the light color, for only $602. And we're talking about 3 batteries in total, the charging hub, all the bells and whistles, plus a hard case, and you still get the soft case with it too. And I just checked this deal a couple hours ago. It's still live on Amazon.com. In fact, I include the link in the show's description. It's a clickable link. You can go right in there in the Amazon and buy it right now. You tell them DroneNation sent you when you hit that buy button for this link. So did you get a chance to look at this deal, Marcus?
You know what? I looked at it, and Ron, I'm looking for that link. Oh yeah, there it is.
It's under number 2. It says Amazon.
Yeah. So I'm clicking on it right now, Ron. I might just hit that buy button.
Well, hit it a couple times. Johnny wants one too.
I already have one of those, Ron. So yeah.
You don't have the hard case.
I don't have the hard case, but I'll tell you what. that is a steal.
I mean, we're talking. This is the Flymore bundle and everything.
It is. It plus it has the hard case. Plus it includes an SD card. Yeah, that's quite a deal. Yeah.
So anybody looking to pick up an affordable mini drone with a good camera, I mean, you're not going to beat this deal.
$602. Yeah.
Come on, Johnny.
You might buy something like that.
Someone's asking, is that an affiliate link?
Well, it could be if you plan on clicking on it.
Is it an affiliate link? Because if it's an affiliate link, we've got to do a full disclosure. We've got to stay within FTC guidelines here.
Yeah, we don't get in trouble with anybody.
Hey, but really, all kidding aside, that is one of the best deals that I have seen ever on a drone. That is amazing.
Wow, that's a pretty tall statement there, Marcus.
Well, it's the same package that I bought a year ago, except for I paid nearly $1,000. So
yeah, I think it's the regular price is like $949, $959 on this drone without the hard case.
Yeah.
And of course you can't get it in the colors. This only comes in that either gray, white, whatever the light color.
Well, plus it's Amazon, so even if you have a problem with it, you
send it right back within 30 days or whatever. Yeah.
That's a great deal.
Well, anyhow, we don't want to get accused of pushing anybody on anything here, but that is the drone. That may be the DroneNation deal of the year. Of course, I don't want to eat crow in that because remember we pushed that one deal and Captain Ray bought that mini SE, and he never got it.
That turned out to be a bust, and that was another Amazon thing. So I noticed about this one, Ron. It is at the Autel store on Amazon. That other one that you're speaking about was on the DJI store on Amazon. So I don't know how that happened, but
full disclosure, Captain Ray he didn't lose any money on it. He just didn't get the drone. He got his money back.
Everybody did. So nobody lost any money. It's just the disappointment of not getting what you thought you were.
Yeah.
So, Quadcopters in Tech says that is more than 300 less than the EXO Mini Pro with 2 batteries and nothing else. Would you recommend that drone over the Nano bundle over your EXO?
Oh my God, not even in a million years.
Look at him laughing.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I've listened to Marcus go back and forth about the EXOs.
Do you want me to tell you the good story about EXO drones, though?
Yes.
Yes.
So everybody knows about I had that Blackhawk 2 Plus that, by the way, full disclosure, EXO sent me for a review. Well, now we all know what that drone is. It is the same as the Hubsan Ace Pro. Not a bad drone. As Hubsan drones go, it's really not a bad drone. Now, our discussion in the past has always been is that it's overpriced on the EXO website. $799, I think, for just the basic kit. But one of the things that they always advertised is their great customer service. Well, I had an opportunity to put that to the test. My Blackhawk 2, the gimbal just checked out. I was going to do a comparison test with the Fimi X8 SE 2022, and I was out at the canyon, and the thing took off, and the gimbal just died. It literally died in midair. That's no joke. It was fine, and all of a sudden the gimbal just quit. And so I thought, well, this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to see I can personally see how is their customer service. And so I started with their tech support, and they had me send some information, flight logs, that sort of thing, pictures of the drone. They want to make sure you didn't just crash into a wall or something. And the guy said, yeah, it's pretty clear. Your gimbal just died on you. And they said, we can tell by the flight records that it died in mid-flight. He said you need to file a warranty claim. So there's another button you push on their website, warranty repair. So I clicked on that, jumped through a few more hoops. Nothing too outrageous. I mean, asking the same thing. They wanted pictures. They wanted flight records, that sort of thing. Within less than a week, I'm going to say probably 4 or 5 days, they got back to me and they said, yep, your gimbal is dead. We're sending you a new drone. They sent me a prepaid shipping label to send the old one back. And they said, as soon as we get it, we'll send you a new one. Sent it back. Sure enough, not a day after they received it, I get a notification in the mail that, hey, we've shipped a new one out to you, and I haven't got it yet, but it's on its way. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is their customer service is all that. It does work. If you buy a drone from them, they are going to stand behind it.
Good story. Hey, back to that Nano, that deal of the day. Did you see in the chat? Bill Grace ordered one an hour ago, and there were only 2 left before my buy. So they're going fast, people. So, well, thanks for that story on the Exo that you got the what appears to be great customer service. We'll finish the story when you actually get it back. And
that's when I get the drone back.
Test flight, but all signs are pointing upwards.
Hey, and by the way, I did finish that comparison video that I'm telling you about, but I was fortunate because I had the Hubsan Ace Pro, so I was able to substitute it right in. It's the same drone.
Some people doubt on that, but yeah, that's great that you had that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, listen, we're going to get right into the drone man. We talked about the DroneMask so much, we might as well jump right into. Okay, we're about the DroneMask 2. This is the sequel to the first DroneMask, which came out about a year ago. It has recently been released, and the second version of the product has some big improvements. John, Patrick, and Marcus have all had a chance to test these goggles in the field. They retail for $179 US. You can find them at DroneMask.com. Now, people don't know what the DroneMask is. They're goggles, but they're not FPV goggles. Usually when we talk about goggles, we talk about FPV goggles for FPV drones, but these goggles are for camera drones. And John, I'll let you take it at this point here. I'm set them up here.
Yeah, so like as you can see, Marcus is kind of showing the inside there. There's the lens. Look, the biggest change that they made was that you've got flaps to actually get to your phone when you put it in the mask. So being able to change the settings, being able to answer a prompt on your phone. Like when we tried the DroneMask 1, Patrick and I, one of the biggest problems that we had was if something came up on the screen, he had to be there to literally unzip the mask. I had to stop. It was very, very distracting. You know, Patrick can kind of talk a little bit about how annoying that was because I've unzipped his mask and he's had to unzip mine while we were testing out that version 1.
Yeah, it was very annoying. For some reason, whenever we flew those 2 times, we got prompts before we were allowed to take off, which were highly abnormal. But both times, you know, I had to stop what I was doing and have him, you know, unzip the mask, flip the phone up, press the button, and then of course re-zip the mask back up and restart the flight.
But not to mention though, a few times we wanted to change the camera settings and you just couldn't do that. Like I know people say, well, just set up your camera settings the way they're supposed to be before you put in the mask. Yeah, that's nice, but if you decide you want to make a change in midair, it is really annoying to have to unzip it. So DroneMask solution was to cut holes in the mask to let you poke your fingers through, and Marcus is kind of showing that off there. But I'll let Patrick kind of talk about some flaws that we discovered in this solution, especially since he actually notices a lot of this out in the field.
Well, one of the things was for our particular mask was that the material didn't reconform to close off light in the mask. So you press your finger in there to make your change and you removed your finger, you would have a gap. And if it was in bright sunlight, a lot of times light would come in through that mask through that small hole or something to cause some glare through your phone. That was just the most annoying part of the whole thing.
Right. You can kind of see on Marcus's, like Marcus is poking his finger in, and like one of his flaps is not actually be flush against the side. That's what we were experiencing with ours. And if you are in direct sunlight, which we tested it in direct sunlight because we wanted to really give the product a fair try, because it's supposed to provide a totally immersive experience no matter what light condition you're in. And unfortunately, you could see it will leak through those holes because those flaps are just fabric and they're held onto the mask with Velcro.
Which
and
brings to
Patrick can talk about that.
which brings to another problem. When you do press your finger up in there, say for instance you want to get to the camera settings, well, when you put your finger through there, it lifts up on the flap and you can't see the camera settings to change. So it's annoying.
Right,
Hey,
the
Patrick.
lower flap actually covers the bottom settings. This is kind of hard to describe, but in the video, I think we nailed exactly what happens. That you kind of have to guess where it is. They could have solved this a different way, but unfortunately, they didn't.
So I want to ask you guys. So one of the things that I ran into is with my phone in there. On a DJI drone, you have that push button to take off that's right in the center of your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to reach that was like you're trying to can I get it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We took off with the sticks.
Yeah, we took off with the sticks.
Yeah.
You're right though. You're right though. Getting right to the center is probably the biggest challenge, in all honesty.
And for me, I'm a pretty good sized guy, so I had difficulty getting my big fingers up inside that gap to get to that portion of the screen.
For me, I had better range of motion because I don't have very meaty fingers there, so it wasn't as bad to get to it. But it is an issue.
And Patrick and I both have a kind of a unique problem that really DroneMask struggles with.
Yeah,
right.
And I will say this: on the previous model, the field of view, or what is it, John? What am I? The field of view for the mask itself, we couldn't expand it far enough where I could see enough of the screen.
Yeah,
they improved it with this one. So
it's way improved. I totally agree.
It is. Now, I will say this: if you have a smaller phone, say like I use an LG phone for flying around. It's an old Android phone. It's a 6.1 inch screen. I could see more of the screen with that phone than I could with John's Pro Max in there. I could see probably 95% of the screen. Just the lower left corner where the maps are was the portion that I couldn't see. Now, when I put the Pro Max in, I couldn't see the whole left side of the menu. So again, I had to take off with the sticks.
Patrick, that's one of the things that I want to try, and I didn't try, was sliding the phone, because it's my right eye that I am looking at. Of my left eye, my eyes don't work together. So I thought if I could slide it all the way over to the right side, maybe it would work better for me. I didn't try that. So
it helps a little. Again, you can see just like for me, I could see like just the lower portion of the map screen, but I couldn't really make anything out on it. And that also the orientation screen as well. So I developed, when I flew it the first time, since I couldn't see that, what I kind of did to make sure that I stayed kind of pointed at the drone with my remote was I watched my signal indicator in the upper right corner. If I saw the signal starting to drop, I would turn just a little bit to try to keep in line with my drone and watch for my signal to come back. And I was able to kind of keep myself pointed in that direction, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'll tell you why I'm probably going to hang on to this guy. That DroneMask one, I didn't keep it because I just knew that I would never use it. But this, I think, for me, works better enough that in the heat of the summer, because we've all had problems with our iPhones, at least. I think your Android phones are better, but with our iPhones, they tend to dim in the heat. And I think the mask is a good answer for that. And when I'm using a controller like this Autel controller, that I think can potentially be an option for me. So I think I'm going to hang on to it.
One other thing that I did want to mention was, and John and I actually discovered this kind of after the fact and after the video was, and someone else mentioned it in one of the other reviews that were out there, was if you have a large phone and you're using the provided cables, that cable is going to get a little stress put on the port of your phone where it sits out, because a Pro Max phone is really end to end inside that mask. So you are going to put some stress on that phone port with the cable in there plugged in. So
another thing,
it's got no port on the mask for plugging in a cable.
Yeah.
It's literally just has to be zipped in.
It was, you showed it well in your video. It was odd the way you had to put that cable through there. Definitely.
Because there's no other place for it.
We even approached them. John actually sent an email out to him and said, "Hey, what about a 90-degree bend on that cable so that it could come down through the one of the access ports?" And I don't know if they replied to that or if they actually made a
So I actually just asked them, like, why did they include a cable that literally just goes straight out? Like, if you have to zip the thing into the mask, at least include a 90-degree cable. They replied back saying that they supposedly tested it with a 90-degree cable and it interfered with accessing the mask with your hand to not have the wire, I guess, away from the thing. I don't know. We don't have a 90-degree cable to test that theory with, but I thought it was interesting.
So let me say this: what the ultimate solution would have been them to actually have a port on the side of the goggles that you plug into, and then a jumper that goes from that to your phone. That's for $179. That's what it should have been.
That's Marcus, that's really the problem. Like, I know some people in chat are like, oh, it's not that bad, whatever. But like, this thing is $179.
Right.
It does not feel like a $179 product. Is it useful in certain instances? Sure. But the product that you get is not worth what they're asking, not by a long shot. It feels cheap. The whole thing is just a cheap solution, to be honest with you.
And let's be honest, if you're going to use it like it's supposed to be used, you're going to have to fly with a spotter. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, I mean,
you need somebody to kind of keep an eye on where you're at if you're going to have your head in that thing. And I guarantee you that you're going to have to pull it off to find where you're at eventually. Just to
look, and for me, you guys have some visual impairments, but I'm just extremely nearsighted. But with my phone in there, I can get my glasses in there and pretty much see just like a regular person. I have to have it all the way out. I have to have that thing all the way out.
Me too.
My phone choice is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. This thing weighs 230 grams. The DroneMask weighs 425 grams. You've got 1.4 pounds on your head when you're wearing the DroneMask, and you've got the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And not to mention, if you have to have the focal length all the way out like I do, and I think most people are going to need to if they have a big phone, because otherwise it's like you can't see. It's just it doesn't work. Yeah. So you've got a ton of weight. That is, there's the
balance is real odd on your head, or
it's really odd.
Well,
it's really odd, Ron.
And you know what they told right here on the bridge of your nose.
Yeah.
Yes.
You sound like an operator from the
again with the nose.
Right.
Ron, do you know what they told us? You know what they told me when I mentioned that problem to them? They said that you should try to add a weight to the back of the strap.
A counterweight.
I'm not making it up. They told me try adding a weight to the back of the strap to counterbalance the weight of your iPhone on the front.
So now you even got more weight on the top of your head.
Yeah, put more weight. Put a weight. That's literally what they suggested. Just strap a weight to the back of the mask.
I'll tell you what would improve the fit, I think, of this mask was what I would consider a hard strap, not an elastic strap, something that's buckle adjustable, but it's not stretchy.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, so before we lose it,
before we move on, can I get Bill Grace's comment up here before we get too lost? Is this a fair question, guys? Comment, Bill Grace.
No, it's more than that.
Throw it in a box.
No, because it's got some pretty heavy duty lenses in here. So it's way more than that. I mean, that's a good point. You can buy those cheap boxes. But same, Ron, I don't want to lose what Intel Maxell Multi-Rotors is saying.
Could you pop it up? I may be far away from it.
Well, yeah, I think it's up there a ways now. But he said, hey, use a DJI Spark because it's a Wi-Fi drone. You wouldn't need a cable. Hey, I thought of that with some of those cheap little, I call them bargain drones that I review from time to time. They're Wi-Fi drones. Heck, you don't need a cable.
That's a very good point. Hey, also Intel Maxwell has a comment for John. He's a question. He said, John, which version do you like better, the 1.0 or the 2.0 in the DroneMask?
I mean, if I had to choose, I would take the 2.0 because it's they did improve it. They did make some improvements to it.
Is there a price difference between the two?
Yes. They increased the price by $10 on the 2 version because they included cables. You get USB-C to USB-C and a USB-C to Lightning cable. And they marked up the cost for those cables.
Hey, so
I will say this. Go ahead.
John. What I also noticed, it seemed to me that this mechanism worked better on the second version as well.
Yes,
it did.
Yeah,
we both noticed that as well. It was definitely a minor improvement.
And I don't, we're dogging it a little bit here, but I really want to like this mask. I really don't have a problem with the workmanship that's involved with the mask. The mask is well put together. It's just an expensive piece of plastic that I don't know. Moving forward, are we all going to need this? With integrated controllers coming out, with screens built in, with high nit ratings on them, is something that's just for maybe the older drones.
I mean, Patrick, I went on Amazon and I saw, I went on Amazon. I saw you can get the remote that goes with the Mini 3 for $300. This new V2 DroneMask is $180. Just buy that. I know you can use it with multiple drones or whatever, but like in your case, Patrick, you were looking to get it for use with your Air 2S, and now the Air 2S is supported on that remote, so you might as well just go that route.
I mean, and again, we know it was billed as the movie mask before it was the drone mask. Correct. And
this is an old idea.
Yeah, so what I did was I took it to work and showed it to the guys at work, and I said, okay, throw your phone in there and fire up a movie. And they were like, this is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, okay, well, fine, great. Throw your headset on and lay down and watch a movie at what appears to your eyes or your brain is an 80-inch screen. Great. It's great for that. I don't think that I would use this very much flying.
It's also, it's good for spectating too, and you'll probably be doing that when I fly FPV.
Yes.
We'll be connecting my DJI goggles to your Android phone, and we'll use FPV out to get some footage because you like to watch FPV in the goggles. You don't get the motion sickness when you're just watching it on a screen.
So that is one use that I could see where I might actually pull them out and use them.
Yeah, and you could even kick back and you don't have to worry about having to counterbalance the weight too much or nothing.
And you're absolutely right. I don't get the motion sickness watching you do the flips and the dives with my head in the goggles like I do if I'm just watching you on like an iPad or something like that.
I think that's the one thing I wish we had thought of in our review, that it does have a good spectator application to it, but it's still not worth spending like $180 for the privilege of doing that.
Hey, Lon pointed out to me that this little window, I guess for people I should show them, you can remove that on the inside here, and then you've got a hole there so you can point your phone's camera out of that. Well, Lon says that on his Android phone, he can do picture-in-picture. So that would solve your problem of situational awareness. In other words, it would take up part of your view, but you could also see what was going on around you. To my knowledge, we can't do that with the iPhone, but
I'm not sure. I've never tried, but I do fly with an Android phone, so it might be worth looking into.
Yeah. Just wanted to point that out before we got too far ahead.
And to be honest, I've never taken that flap off of either one of the drone masks.
No.
Hey, Patrick, that was a first for me as well.
Yeah,
hey, I want
to show this real quick because some people don't. Someone is saying put a hammer on the back of it. I just want to show you guys this was real. I don't even read that. There it is. There's them saying to try to counterbalance it with the weight. I am not kidding. They literally said that. They literally said to try putting a weight on it. Crazy.
Huh. So Mike Wright's making the point the DroneMask costs more than a lot of toy, the 3 toy drones.
Well, I don't know if it costs more, but it's certainly better quality.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree with Maddie. I think this is a novelty item. And honestly, guys, what if this thing was like $70, $80? I think we would have a way different attitude toward it, even with the flaws.
Right. Yeah, I think I perfectly agree. I think the price is like, if it was $100 or under, I think this would be a much more appealing item.
Right.
Yeah. Have we beat that to death, guys?
Yeah, I think we beat the DroneMask.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions about the DroneMask? Put them in the chat, and we'll try to address it. But we want to get into another hot story because John sort of has a leak here. Whatever John's pulling at Deals Drones or a CETA here. He's got some real good information. Let me set it up here. We're talking about the DJI Air Unit O3 and the DJI Goggles 2 Lite. They've been rumored new products for a while now, and just last week at Deals Drones on Twitter dropped some leaks and high-res photos last week of the Air Unit specifically, and even a bit somewhere was leaked that showed the option to pair it with the Goggles 2 Lite with the Mavic 3 and the Mini 3 Pro drones. That would be real exciting if you could pair some of these DJI goggles with the camera birds and not just the FPV drones. The rumored price for the Air Unit was $210. That's a conversion from some other currency, but we have no pricing on the Goggles 2 Lite yet. But John made discovery just recently from, I believe, a website in Poland, an official DJI site. Is that correct, John?
Yeah, I have it shared here, Ron, if you want to pull it up. So this is
right here.
Yeah, so this is DJI's Polish website. And as you can see, this is it. This was up on their site for about an hour this afternoon today before they took it down. This gave us the entire specs for the Air Unit. Pretty much like everything is here except the price. So what did we get? There it is. There's the unit. There's the camera. Let's go down and look at some specifications. So O3 Air Unit can stream up to 1080p, do 100 FPS. It's got H.265. So it should be really, really good quality video. One of the big things we learned from this page, let me go down here and show you. There we go. People have been wondering, are the V2 goggles going to be compatible? There you go. Boom. V2 headset and the DJI gray stick remote there are both going to work with this thing. So there you have it. It looks like it's not just going to be limited to the Goggle 2. People were really wondering about that. So
great information.
So some further specifications. Here's where things might get a little dicey for some people. So you get a 155-degree field of view, but it's only available when the aspect ratio is 4:3. And in 4:3, the highest resolution that you can get from my understanding here is 2.7K. Okay. So if you want 4K, at 60, then you've got to be in 16:9. That's going to annoy some people that in order to get that 4K video, they're not going to be able to also fly in 4:3. So that is a bit of a downer. That being said, everything else looks pretty sweet on this.
Now, John, I mentioned off air of that. Is that also a limitation of the DJI Avada that can only shoot in the 4.3 ratio at 2.7K? We did not know. So if anybody in the chat knows that that's a limitation of the Avada, please drop us a note there and let us give us the updates.
Yeah, I don't remember. So it would be great if someone in the chat could tell us if that's also a limitation on the Avada. I only had it for about a month on borrow from a good friend. So yeah, I don't know. Some people fly 16:9 and are going to be totally happy with that. But a lot of people like me don't like to fly 16:9. They fly 4:3.
Because it's too wide. You really can't see how close you are to things. Is that the reason?
I mean, that's one of the reasons. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. But yeah, there's a lot of people that will not like that. It's got 20 gigs of onboard storage, which that's, I guess, not too bad, right? Not terrible for its size. It's got a micro SD card slot though, so you're good on that.
Right. And that storage space is probably okay for shooting in 1080p.
I want to mention that this is a really unique product. There really is nothing like this out there. You know, Lon is saying, which other FPV cameras shoot in 4K at 64:3? Yeah, the thing is that's not really the point. I'm bringing that up because there are people that will choose to stick with GoPro just for that reason alone. And they are out there. You will probably hear it when it comes out. There will be people who will stick with keeping a GoPro on their thing because they can't fly in 4x3. They're be forced to do it. But if you don't care about that, this is pretty cool. Like, this is a pretty damn cool product. You can shed that weight of the GoPro with this unit and just fly. This is it. This is your HD. I think it's phenomenal. I really think it's phenomenal. But you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it.
Is that rumored price of $210? Is that pretty expensive for this type of device?
I mean, to be honest with you, if you, it's actually sounds pretty damn good to me, considering a Caddx Vista setup is about $160, and that doesn't record cinema grade video at all. I mean, that would be incredible. 210 USD for this. Yeah, now, I would say it's a really good price.
Now, I know we don't know maybe the pricing. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. How does this compare to that walk snail device that people keep talking about? It gets a lot of great praise about the walk snail device.
Oh boy, you know, we haven't had it in our hands, obviously, so I can't really compare them side by side. But a walk snail video transmitter and this are in very different leagues. Again, this will get you cinema grade video out of it. You're not going to get that out of the walk snail system. You're not going to get that out of the Air Units and DJI Caddx Vistas that we currently have now. So this is just a whole different beast. It'll be interesting to see how this thing pans out durability wise and whatnot. It looks like it might be a tank.
Hey, John, so video quality wise, then, is this comparable with the Avada or better?
I mean, I would have to look at the specifications. I couldn't tell you offhand here. I couldn't tell you offhand here.
I can tell you as a non-FPV flyer, why I think this is really cool is that people are going to use it, and we're going to get to see some really cool fly-through videos with people using this product.
And John, I suppose you could do a lot of great builds with a unit like this, huh?
Yeah. I mean, if I would love to get one if I had V2 goggles. I don't. I have V1. So if you're like me, you're SOL. You would have to either acquire a pair of V2s or get the new Goggle 2, which doesn't work for me. So that is what it is.
John, DJI, if you're listening, send John some V2 goggles or Goggles 2, actually, preferably.
No, don't send me Goggle 2. I don't like it. I don't like it kills my nose, Marcus. It literally kills my nose. I can't use it.
Okay, then V2 goggles.
Put a weight on the back, John. You got to put a weight on the back.
No goggles are for me. It's the Italian nose. I can't get away from it. It's just.
My point is this, Cuppi, is that you'll do a great. Nobody will do a more thorough review than you with this product.
Hey, John, what's more uncomfortable, the Goggles 2 or the DroneMask? With your big iPhone Max at the end of it.
God, Patrick, that's a tough one, huh?
Yeah, I'd say, man, I'm thinking the DroneMask.
Yeah, I think the DroneMask is DroneMask probably still takes it. I mean, I can deal with the Goggle 2. I just don't want to when I have the V2 as an option. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Maddie's saying stabilized video on an FPV camera, friggin' insane. Yeah, this device is insane. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be pretty awesome, I think. Is there any questions? I guess I have the goods. I wish.
Ken hears you already have them.
I wish. I wish. I did order the walk snail system though, and it will ship December 10th, and I will finally get to experience it for myself, because everybody who likes the walk snail system over DJI is saying, you gotta fly it for yourself. You gotta experience it for yourself. But I wasn't willing to buy the Fat Shark goggles. Well, now I don't have to. They sell a video receiver. I can just bolt onto my existing goggles, and I'm gonna see what the hell that thing's all about. So I'll have a walk snail impression at some point. We'll see how that goes.
Good. I'd be interested, because you hear a lot of talk about that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are excited about the walk snail system. I think they think they're going to be real compatible with a lot of other parts. I think that's one of the key reasons people like them.
I mean, walk snail is a little more receptive to the community right now, I guess, in terms of reaching them. See, DJI has gone kind of dark on the FPV systems side. They have not touched it in almost 2 years. There was a lot of stuff that could have been added. It's great to see that the O3 Air Unit is going to bring full Betaflight on-screen display. We've been begging for that on the older gen stuff. Unfortunately, that is what it is. Lon's making a good point, saying he doubts it'll be as good as an Action 2. He thinks that the OM3 will probably be good enough for many, but not as good as a GoPro or other action camera. Agree. There are legitimate GoPro and action camera diehards who will not use this because of that. But for many, though, who want to drop that weight on their quad and just use this, this is I think it'll be an awesome product. But yes, you're absolutely right. GoPro and Action 2 or using an action camera still might end up being what many professionals prefer to pick up over.
Hey, John, I know we don't have this on the agenda tonight, but the GoPro Hero 11 Mini is out now. Have you looked into this at all? You have any thoughts on it?
I've looked at it, Ron. I got to be honest with you. I don't usually fly to make nice high def video material. I just do a lot of freestyle. I'll throw my Insta360 Go 2 on there maybe, or I'll just pull footage from my DJI FPV system and then throw it up on Facebook or whatever. I don't usually try to create like cinematic video, to be honest with you. So I haven't really looked at the Mini, but it looks cool. It looks cool. See, and that's where this Air Unit would be great for me, because I'm lazy. I don't want to have to deal with putting an action camera on my stuff. Like, it's all in there. It's all in there. So, hey, John, that's another problem. Props in the shot. I kind of wonder if this is going to make dead cat frames more popular. And for those of you who don't know, a dead cat frame is literally the arms are out like this rather than being out in front. Because right now, so many frames are going to show props in your shot. So that's going to be something that some frame designers the frame designers will come out. They'll work things out with that.
Hey, John, one more question for you with regard to GoPro. Would be the reason that people would prefer GoPro because they're used to that really vivid color science, or is just the resolution? What makes the GoPro preferable?
It's just that image, man, that GoPro image. And for some people also like super view. I can't say that stabilization is necessarily a thing now, because you can do gyro flow, I think, with the O3 Air Unit. So I don't think that might be as big of a deal. But yeah, GoPro is still widely
high
preferred.
Frame rates on the GoPros.
I will say I was disappointed that the Mini, though, didn't weigh less from the full size. I expected it to weigh a lot less, but unfortunately,
somebody said because of how compact it was, your drone flew better with not having the compactness of the size.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Maybe a little more better for aerodynamics. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see that
without it hanging so much over the sides of your drone.
Yeah, I still want to see GoPro come out with a Session 6. I'm sorry, the Hero 5 Session was like the ultimate camera for FPV. I've still got one, but unfortunately, it's showing its age at this point. But I would love to see GoPro do that. The Mini, sort of like a in between product.
Yeah, it was. It's amazing they don't respond. I mean, I guess a lot of people say they need the session, but who knows? They may need a certain number of people that they're not reaching, saying they need that session. But I don't know who thought they needed that size of the Mini. So there you go.
What about a camera like this, John?
Yeah, I mean the Action 2 is good, but it's not quite what the GoPro Session 5 was, or the GoPro Session is.
So you don't now by you saying it's not quite what it is because of video quality or because of form factor?
Well, the form factor is actually quite similar, but the Session 5 was built like a tank, first and foremost. As far as I'm aware, the Action 2 is not really known for its durability. I know it's been a long time since I looked at the Action 2 specs. There are probably some other things that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head.
Yeah, Sean Oz's always line was the Action 2 is not an Action.
And what about what about like accessing the metadata and whatnot for it to do gyro flow and whatnot? Can you finally do that on Action 2 or no?
Well, I have no clue. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it has any of that kind of that Wi-Fi, that speed and stuff that the GoPro has.
Well, it's not so much the Wi-Fi. It's can you pop it into gyro flow? As far as I'm aware, no, I don't.
Yeah, it's gyro flows. That gyro flow is huge now, right, John? I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah. The Action 2 has way better video quality than the Session 5, right? But what I'm trying to say is that the form factor and how rugged the damn thing was very appealing. Yeah. On top of the fact that you could stabilize it with what do you call it?
Gyro flow. What
was that application? No, you couldn't. Well, not gyro flow. You couldn't stabilize it.
What was the one before that? Yeah,
I forgot what application. Real Steady. They did Real Steady.
Real Steady.
You pop, I think, Session 5 footage into something like that.
So, but
no IMU. That's the problem. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'm not. So that's what I was getting at. There's no IMU.
Yeah.
So it was a no-go for a lot of people.
Yeah. Is there anything that Lon doesn't know the answer to?
Yeah,
we couldn't do this show without Lon.
He's a sponge.
Make sure you send Lon a nice Christmas bonus.
Yeah. Lon needs a Christmas bonus.
Bring Lon on in place of me. He knows what he went.
No. That's not what we're saying, John. We're just acknowledging the guys.
John, we can't afford Lon.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, John, I want to thank you so much for bringing on those that leaks from that.
Lon keeps me on my toes. It's good. It's good information, though. It's good. It's good information.
Hey, listen, we're going to move on here, but I want to thank John for bringing that website to the thing here. That was excellent reporting. Guys, you don't get this anyplace else or whatever. John Cuppi with his inside information here. But listen, I want to get on to some Black Friday's deals. From DJI, Autel, Insta360, GoPro, we got them all here. Now, these aren't as good as the DroneNation Deal today. I don't have any links anymore, but I could get links if you wanted them. But okay, we just talked about GoPro a little while ago. GoPro has a 15% off site-wide sale going on. I believe for 4 days, and it's in effect today or soon or whatever. But go ahead, Marcus.
Well, that also, if I read that correctly, Ron, it also included 15% off of that yearly membership in the GoPro Club.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Wow. So if you're considering we mentioned the Hero Mini 11. If you want anything GoPro, get over there and see if you can cash in on that 15% off site-wide sale over there, and let us know if you snagged any good deals over there, and we will mention. Now, I did a little more exciting deal here, and I got a little giddy here on the promotion here, but Marcus has already checked me on this. I have written down here that the Autel Nano Plus is only $499 at Autel.com. What I got wrong there, as Marcus corrected me, that's Autel Pilots, which is not officially Autel. That's where Marcus ordered his Nano from.
Right.
But that's still a heck of a deal to get the Nano Plus, and the premium bundles only $659. Again, this is Autel pilots, and that includes the case, the extra batteries, the multi-charger.
Yeah.
I mean, what can we say about this, Marcus?
Yeah, no, that's a screaming deal, and so I would order from Autel pilots. Yeah, it comes from China. It's going to take a week or a week and a half or whatever to get it, but that's a substantial savings.
And at $499, this drone's only $50 more than the Mini 2, with a much better camera and much more features in the software.
Right. It obstacle avoidance and well, I was going to say tracking, but I don't.
Well, it still has better tracking than Mini 2, which has none.
That's true. Well, unless you get the Litchi app, right, Ron?
Yeah, then it can track the controller. Then, yeah.
You're right.
I mean, if anybody's looking to get into a drone at under $500, not a junk drone, a drone that has a camera that can match up to almost anybody's camera, at least in the under $1,000 space. This is it.
Now, question on the Nano Plus.
Yes.
When those originally came out, they had a little trouble in the wind. Do they still have a little trouble in the wind?
Yes. However, it's way better than it was originally. Right, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get mine until May, and I was afraid to fly it much because it was so bad in the wind at first. But a couple firmware updates has greatly improved that. And also, one of my subscribers told me this, I did not know. When you go to ludicrous mode, which is their version of sports mode, they have two settings in there. One's for video and one's for just flying or whatever. And I think it comes in the fact you set the video priority. If you put the speed priority or whatever, I mean, then you got a drone that when I did my testing is not quite as fast as the Mini 3 and even not quite as fast as the Mini 2, but real close. And if you find any reasonable wind, you have no problem.
Let me tell you what it's on par with. The easiest way to describe it, and Ron, correct me if you have a different opinion, but I believe that it is on par with the original Mavic Mini from the power-wise.
Yeah, it's better than the Mini 1. Not quite as good. It's closer to the Mini 2 than it is the Mini 1. And when I first got it was Mini 1 level, but somehow they bumped it up through firmware to be at Mini 2 level.
Right. I've got a question about it. I'm raising my hand.
Yes.
Yes. I haven't flown an Autel drone in a long time now. So what is the no-fly zone situation like that? What is the nannying like on that? Is it freer than DJI? Is it the same? Or
I've never had this drone tell me that I was in any kind of zone or anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard talk about this, but I've not seen any geofencing. I had a paid job this summer where I was in a restricted zone that I could unlock you could unlock, I forget what it was, class something. And
but you got approval to fly there. You
could get approval to fly in this area, but my DJI drone would not unlock its geo zones or whatever. So I had to go home and get my Autel drones.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. So, what about the remote? What about remote ID? I know it's
this is a sub 250 gram drone. So if you're not flying professionally, you should not need that component. But I have read that it will be that, and this and the Lite Plus will be software compatible with remote ID if you need that.
Okay. Yep. Just a question, because some people may want to fly 107 in the future, and some people also may want to be able to turn it off. Which I know the Mini 3 has it, but there's some question about it being turned on or off. I mean, I don't know if there was ever an update about that situation.
We got that story down the line. We'll dive into that if we have time. As far as I know, if you live right near the edge of some sort of class G to some class where you can't fly, and you're on the right edge of it, but the DJI just won't let you take off because you're near it, you won't have a problem with these Autels.
Gotcha.
So say the class D is like a half mile from your house, but your DJI drones won't take off because you're near it. You don't have to worry about that with these Autels.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a situation just similar to that. It's not that it won't let me take off. I live at the very edge of Class D airspace. I've got a 400-foot, according to FAA, and unfortunately, DJI, you know how they draw the bow ties, right?
Yeah.
Bow ties have nothing to do with the FAA.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this 400-foot zone that I'm in, I believe I'm limited to what is it? 70 feet?
150 meters.
Is it well, no, it's less than 400 feet. I'm limited to less than 400 feet where I am in the bow tie. That I can't say. Oh, I want to say it's 60 meters is what I'm limited to.
Oh, wow.
Within the bow tie. Yeah. And then it's funny because if I fly past and put myself out into Class G, it's still limited because I'm in that bow tie until I get the hell out of it. So, you know, it's not a detriment, but it's a reminder that you don't own this drone. DJI owns it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got to interrupt for a second. Richard says there's only one drone left in that Nano Plus. The deal of the day. There's only one left now.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going fast.
Okay.
Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. Buy it. Come on, man.
Hit that buy button. Okay, back to the deals here now. This is, again, I incorrectly wrote here this Autel.com. This is Autel Pilots. The Autel Lite Plus is $1,006. I don't know where they get the $6 from. And the premium bundle for the Lite Plus is $1,109. So these prices are significantly, lower than what's on Amazon. Amazon, that bundle's like $1,200, and you know, it's anyhow, these are lower than what you can find on Amazon right now on both drones. So these are both pretty good deals. I know we have a lot of people, you know, some people in the panel and some people that have on the show regularly have their eyes on that Autel Lite drone.
Yeah,
I won't drop any names.
I'm going to put it up here, Ron. There's the ad right there.
What's saying the name? Johnny Drone Flyer.
We protect the innocent around here. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see here here's the Nano Plus standard package, $499, and then the Evo Nano Plus premium bundle, $659. And like a lot of us have talked about, although percentage wise, 40%, this Evo Lite Plus premium bundle for $1,109. Man, oh man, that is a screaming deal. That's an amazing deal.
If anybody's not aware, that drone even has a manual aperture on it, so you can adjust your aperture on it manually, just like you can with the Mavic 3. So you don't find that many drones under a certain price point. So So if you're in, we're not trying to push the Autel drones. We have no, we have no stock in Autel. We're not sponsored by Autel, but and I think, both of us, DeMarco, we've kind of thought all year that the main problem with the Autel drones is they were a bit overpriced, right?
Yeah. I mean, from the start, we all said that, and then just recently we were saying, in our private chats, maybe there's a new drone coming. Maybe.
Oh, I was just showing
full screen. Come on,
I was showing that there's my geo zone right there. See, I'm limited to 60 meters. I can unlock it. It's because I'm stuck in this DJI bow tie. But I swear that's a 400-foot, and I'm just there. I'm just on the outside of it too. Yeah. But you can unlock. I could unlock it if I want to. Yeah. But
so anyhow, I think these prices have got Autel, back lined up. If they would have released at these prices, they would have a lot more market share than they do at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But just my opinion. Hey, okay, now the Insta360 over at their website, you can save up to $75 on select products. I know it looked like one of the best deals was on that the one that's what do you call it? Where you put the components together. That one seemed to be what was $75 off, but they got some deals over there too. And DJI themselves have up to 30% off. Mini 2 bundle for only $509. That's a $90 savings, and the Action 2 is only $359 right now. And that's a $169 savings. It looks like most of the deals at DJI are older products. It doesn't seem to be any of the current products have any price off. But I think if you buy like an Action 3, am I saying that right? Action 3, yeah, you can get like a free T-shirt or something with it, you know. So
What?
So anyhow, there's a lot of deals out there for people on drones and cameras, action cameras, and so on. So you know, if you're going to do it in Shopping Friday, tell them DroneNation sent you.
Absolutely. And can I add, if you are looking for FPV related stuff on sale, what I would do is don't wait until Friday. Go and subscribe to the mailing list of some of these stores, because what I'm seeing right now is I'm getting email blasts from places like Race Day Quads, Get FPV. They're just putting stuff up for sale, and some of it is really, really good stuff. Like one of my friends, he just picked up this plane kit for $75 from Race Day Quads. It came in an email. I sent it to him. I said, dude, they just sent an email with this. And within 5 minutes, they were gone. The deal was gone. But if he wasn't signed up to get the emails, well, I passed it to him. But
Hey,
like,
John,
if you're not signed up, you won't get that stuff. And it'll be gone.
Were his initials ER?
No. That's a different guy. That's a different guy.
Okay.
No, but yeah, it's you know, I would get on mailing lists, which might be annoying to unsubscribe later, but I'm just getting a lot of emails going out. I mean, I literally just got an email from China Hobby Line with sales for battery stuff. Here. Today's flash sale, 75% off. Literally just got this now while I'm sitting here. So get on mailing lists.
Hey, something of interest that you talked about, John, and this is a little bit off subject, but it's also, you were talking about those batteries being on sale. So one of the things that John explained to me yesterday was that some of these battery companies will actually give reviewers curated batteries. So what you get may not be the same as the battery that you buy. Can you talk about that a little, John?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna put any manufacturers on blast or anything like that. But when it comes to battery reviews, I pretty much will not post a review of a battery. I won't accept batteries for review from any company. Like I get companies asking me, "Hey, you want our batteries for free to do a video on?" It's like, no, because I'm sorry, it's just so easy to make sure that the reviewer gets a good battery. And this is a problem that you can apply to almost anything, right? Like make sure the reviewer gets a drone that's not defective, But at the end of the day, though, the end product is still not going to change that much. A battery, you can really make sure that cell is awesome, and then either change the batch later, or just, you know, have a lower end cell that you send out to everybody else. So I just avoid battery reviews because I think there's way too much battery shelling out there.
Well, what I thought was interesting, John, that you explained to me is that the resistance across the cell can make a big difference in the battery, and it depends on the batch. So
yes,
they can make sure that the reviewer gets just one that's really primo, but just in their production process, you may get one that you buy that's not going to last as long, not going to,
Yup, absolutely. I mean, I bought a couple Race Day Quads batteries, and I have had great luck with Race Day Quads. I got a few of them, and then I put 10 cycles through them, and then one of the cells dropped. I've actually had this problem with a couple Race Day Quads batteries. So, you know, you just never know what you're going to get from a given batch. And I mean, if the battery company is not stupid, they're going to send the batteries that have the lowest resistance from their production line. And it's not hard to figure out which ones are good and which ones are, you know. So yeah, I just avoid reviewing batteries. I don't want to deal with it.
I want to answer Ross here. Ross, I found out the hard way, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot harder, like I said, to cherry pick Autel, in theory, could have pulled that off the line to check it to make sure they sent it to you. Yeah. But even so, if the product is designed like crap, eventually something is going to come up, something mechanical. It's not like they're going through and they're putting better mechanical components in your particular Autel than they are. Like, it's just too easy to jinx. Batteries are too easy to jinx. I'm sorry.
So the only way to review a battery is just to order it yourself, just like a normal customer. Then you're not getting a curated battery.
Yeah, and if you're a big name, have someone else order the battery for you. I know that there are some people that do this. They'll have someone else order the battery for them because they don't even want the battery company to see their name
or their address.
Yes, right. So-and-so's ordering this. We better make sure we put the good ones in there and go get a pile of the good ones and send the crappy ones to people who are on Amazon.
But thanks for the information on how to get good deals on the FPV to jump on the mailing list. So
get on the mailing list.
You talked about the Avada a while ago. I mean, we've had so much talk about the Avada on this channel. Some people love it. Some people say it crashes. The kind of the opinions are kind of all over the place on it. I like the review. I know you've talked about sort of you've got a couple of videos and channels, but give us your impressions of the of your time with the Avada drone.
I love my time with the Avada. I thought it was a really great drone. I thought it was so cool how FPV and being able to take the video that you could get with the Avada is just now easily accessible in people's hands. I am not one of the people who feels that getting nice cinematic video with FPV should be gate kept. I know that there are some people who were kind of a little pissy about the Avada because, hey, suddenly you could buy an off-the-shelf quad and take nice cinema video, and you didn't need to build a squirt. You didn't need to learn beta flight and set all that crap up to be able to just fly, go, and get cool video. So I appreciate the technology in the Avada, and I think it's a really freaking cool product. And Patrick can kind of talk about more. I want him to talk about more what the Avada has kind of opened up for him.
Well, I think from my perspective is that it allowed me to basically go from being a camera drone pilot to flying one of these things instantaneously. And I initially, when we borrowed it from our friend, we initially got it with the FPV controller, and I flew it like that for what, John, like 2 weeks, and then I got an opportunity to use the motion controller, and honestly, I liked that as well. I didn't think I was gonna. I had that kind of that stigma placed on it where I thought I was gonna hate it. I thought it was dumb, but I fired it up with that motion controller, and I actually, honestly, I kind of liked flying it that way more than I did with the standard controller.
Great.
But it allowed me I posted a few videos on my channel of me flying it. Those were literally the first times I ever flew it. And I'm flying it through a little loop on a light pole and made it through. I made it underneath things that I never would have ever been able to do with the other actual FPV drones that I had in my possession. And
wow.
It just made me. I'm not interested in doing flips and tricks and freestyle like John is doing. I'm more interested in, I might fly under things or fly through things and that kind of thing. But I'm not interested in doing the flips and stuff.
Marcel, I don't understand this comment. I think he's trying to say if you build an FPV Avada or build your own in 20 minutes, if you crash, you are back again flying, but the DJI Avada, 3 months and you are back flying again, like after you crash. Dude, look, I flew the DJI FPV drone. We all saw how that thing fell apart by just looking at it. I have seen the Avada. I have crashed the Avada myself personally multiple times, and it wasn't mine, so I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did it. I've watched Patrick crash it. I have watched our friend crash it. We have seen the Avada get mowed over by a lawnmower and all still survive. These things are not delicate flowers, dude. Like, you have to try really, really hard to break an Avada frame, in my experience. Really, really hard, or just bust the thing.
Plus, DJI has such a quick turnaround time on repairs too. I mean,
it wouldn't take 3 months to get you a new one. Yeah. Maybe a week.
Maybe a week, exactly.
Hey, John, you mentioned the DJI FPV drone, the first one, and we mentioned it earlier because it was on the deal. It was one of the big deals for $899. How would you if you were say somebody like me was asking and wanted to get an FPV, would you recommend me grabbing that $899 deal on the DJI FPV drone, or save up the money and get the Avada?
Honestly, I think you should just get the Avada. I think the Avada is just a better drone from two standpoints. I think it's a better drone because it's more fun, in that if you want to fart around with it and maybe do a little freestyle and just kind of fly it for sport, you don't have to worry about breaking it. I mean, Patrick has done stuff that I think he'd be scared hell to do with the DJI FPV drone, because the thing has ducts, so you can just go through gaps. It is fun as hell to just even with the motion controller, right? It's fun as hell to just shoot through gaps, and you don't have to worry, like, am I gonna make it? Like, it's just really, really fun. But it's a better cinema bird too, Ron. Like, one of the biggest problems with the DJI FPV drone is that the camera on it sucks. You can't do much. You can't do much good with it, right? You're getting props in the frame. It's just not great. That's why a lot of people threw a GoPro or an Insta360 on top of their DJI FPV.
There's one big advantage that the DJI FPV has.
What is it?
Speed.
Okay, that's true. It is better in speed, but hey,
I'm going to say this: if I'm going to fly it at that speed, I'm going to fly high. I'm not going to fly it low.
Totally with you.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of flying FPV with some, because you want to be low to the ground. You want to shoot.
Yeah, because if you're going to fly high, you might as well take your Mavic up there and fly high, right?
Exactly, right. Like, I saw a lot of people trying to fly the Avada super high, and it's like, no, it's for flying low. It's for shooting gaps.
Hey, we need to let DeMarco chime in on this, because DeMarco, I know you really enjoy flying your DJI.
He's the only one in the panel that has the DJI FPV drone.
Yeah, I do. In fact, I've actually thought about selling it many a times, but I do enjoy flying it, the speed with it. Like Cuppi was saying, like, no, it's not the video's not the greatest, but if you're not into that, it's great. If you want great video, get the Avada thing. That's it. Yeah. If you all had John's money, get both of them. So,
DeMarco, if you want great video, get the Mavic 3.
Well, yeah. If you want great video, but if you want that sensation of flying fast and great video, yeah, get the Avada.
DeMarco flew his DJI FPV drone through the hoop at Spin Up last year.
That's right. That's right.
I got to call it the gate to get the FPV terms down. He flew.
It took 1 or 2 tries too. So yeah.
Did you do that with it? Would you do that with the wand, or did you do that with the controller?
I think it was with the controller, actually. Yeah.
So
you've flown with the motion controller and the regular controller. Which do you prefer?
I like the regular controller. It's been a while since I used a motion controller. I mean, in fact, how Cuppi was actually saying that I might give it a try again. I didn't enjoy it though, but I didn't give it a fair shake either. I truly didn't. No.
Well,
now, John, what's this statement made by Jim's Droning? He says pushers are more stable than regular FPV. What does that mean?
Well, the Avada is known as a pusher style drone. Right. And I don't know that I would call them more stable. If anything, a ducted drone in general actually tends to be more adversely affected by things like the wind. Like, Patrick knows that if you're going to fly the Avada, the wind really needs to cooperate with you. Like if it's too windy, it gets in those ducts. It really affects it. Whereas when you've got an open prop frame, I actually feel like it flies better. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what he means by that.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcel was talking about how if you break a motor on the Avada, well, they actually do. They sell third-party motors for it.
What are those motors called?
The motors are available. Those stock ones too. Huh?
What are the motors called that everybody's replacing the Avada?
Some people are replacing them. I wouldn't say everybody is replacing them. Yeah. I think Axis Flying makes a set of motors, but I don't know that it's really necessary to replace them, to be honest with you.
They're stronger motors, the third-party ones, right? Give you more lift.
A little bit more, yeah. A little bit more lift, a little bit more thrust.
At the cost of flight time.
Yeah.
I think
I agree. It's not the same. It's not the same experience, but it's definitely good enough and better in some ways than building your own Cinewoop if that's what you're looking for. The only reason I don't own one, the only reason I didn't go out and buy one for myself is number one, because it's expensive. But number two, right now I don't have a need for an expensive Cinewoop like the Avada. There are no jobs around here that I would be looking to do or anything like that with something like the Avada. And I've got plenty of fun freestyle quads that I could use. And I have Cinewoops that are just, classic traditional style that will get me the footage that I'm looking for. But for someone who just wants to start flying and get cinematic video, I think the Avada is great.
Thank you.
Great.
That's my opinion.
Hey, listen, I want to get on to the Drone Nation poll of the week here. Now, Marcus made a video over a week ago where he compared the DJI Mavic 3 with his new night mode against the Autel Nano Plus, which we spoke about. He flew him over to the school, closed his house at nighttime. And of course, he used the night mode for the Mavic 3, and the Autel Nano does not have a night mode. So, and of course, it has the famous RYYB sensor, which leaves in more light. So, Marcus didn't make a conclusion in the video. He just wanted people to decide for themselves what they like better. And there's a lot of discussion back and forth which one was better. So we did a little poll on Drone Nation a couple of days ago to see what the numbers were. And I put the numbers here, but we've got a couple more votes and the polls are closing. But the current numbers are, it's kind of a landslide, Marcus. The DJI Mavic 3 has captured 83% of the vote, where the Nano Plus came in at 17% of the vote. Are you a little surprised with those numbers?
Yeah. I mean, these things can often be such a popularity contest, Ron. But no, I'm not surprised, and I get it. And I didn't say anything in the video, but in my opinion, the Mavic 3 definitely looked better, as it should. It costs at least twice as much, maybe more. So
3 times as much now that's on sale.
Well, except for it's on sale too. So in any case, doesn't matter. It is and it's got a much bigger sensor, and then it has also a much more powerful processor, and DJI is taking advantage of that, and they built an algorithm within the drone that allowed for that night shooting.
We think the night mode pumps up the ISO and tones down the digital noise a little bit.
Right. And but listen, there were no losers in that contest. Both of them looked really good, and the little Nano Plus with that RYYB sensor is amazing at night. So it's not like one was a big winner and one was a big loser. That's not the case. They both looked very, very good.
DeMarco, were you surprised the voting was so one-sided on the between the Mavic 3 and the Nano?
No, not at all. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Some people are still fearful of Autel drones, I think. Yeah, no.
John or Patrick, did you get a chance to see the Marcus's video, the comparison?
I have not at this.
I have not either. I'm sorry. I'm sure it was an excellent comparison.
Boo! Boo! Hiss!
Hey, I looked at your DroneMask video, guys.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble now.
Mark,
I did see the night mode though. I did see the night mode though that Marcus took with the Mavic 3, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. Just that image in night mode is freaking amazing. But I did not get around to the comparison. Oh boy, we're in trouble now. We're never coming back on Drone Nation, Patrick. We're done. We screwed up.
I shouldn't have asked that question.
We haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it yet. We will.
We will.
Hey,
as soon as we get off, we're gonna watch it.
I'm waiting for Maddie to promote my DroneMask video.
To be fair, Marcus, our DroneMask video was half the size of yours, and I watched your whole video. So does that make up for it?
Yeah.
I basically want.
Does that make more than, John? It more than makes up for it.
Oh my God.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for everybody that participated in that poll. Again, like Marcus said, it could have been a popularity contest. It's not. It's all your opinion whether you think one's better than the other. So, anyhow, well, we've reached about the 90-minute mark in the show here. So we'll go around the room here and see if anybody has anything else they'd like to bring up before we leave here. Patrick, you have anything that you want to bring up or discuss that we haven't covered already?
Well, I did see somebody throw a question up on the screen about the Mini 3 SE. Has anybody heard anything on that?
Not, and I saw that earlier too. No, I haven't heard any news on it for months. So I could once they got over to the Mavic 3 Classic rumors, they never went back to the SE rumors.
Right. Okay. No, that's all I had.
Marcus or DeMarco, you have any
Get your beds.
Any more information on that SE?
Oh, he's yelling because I wondered what the heck was going on. So I don't have any more information on the SE. As for final thoughts, though, however, I'm going to be making a trip to Arizona for Thanksgiving. So I hope I'm going to take a drone with me. And I haven't decided for sure which one, but I want to. We're going to be going some kind of cool places. My brother said we're going to go through the Salt River Canyon. That looks like that sounds like a cool place to fly a drone to me. So hopefully I'll come back with some kind of cool drone video from Arizona. Which drone am I going to take? I'm thinking very seriously about the Air 2S because it's compact. I can pack it, and it is it's a compromise between the power and the video quality. So
yeah. Don't forget that Nano.
Well, no, I'm just going to take one drone. I think, Ron.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Echo, Marcus, the Black Hawk or the Nano, or whatever it is.
The Air 2S, Mr. Moore.
DeMarco, what you have any final thoughts or anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Just happy Thanksgiving to all our friends out there, and I'm in a bit of a bind right now. During the show, one of our twins lost a tooth.
Oh no!
They have a $20 bill in my wallet.
You have a quarter round, or is it more than a quarter now?
Well, it's more than a quarter and less than a 20, and I'm sort of screwed. So
just put a 20 in there, DeMarco. Come on, Mr. Moneybag.
Oh wow!
You have to run down the ATM machine. So, well, tell the Tooth Fairy to get busy then.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God!
It's just
DeMarco. DeMarco, you start handing out 20s for teeth, I'm going to knock off all mine out and put mine under a pillow.
That's the way to get the Avada.
Yeah, I don't have enough for Avada.
Me buy Avada fund. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ron, you?
Well, I'm going to go with
Cuppi.
I'm going to go with Cuppi first.
I'm sorry, Cuppi.
Yeah, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with this one, but has anybody on the panel had a chance to play with an app called Open Remote ID or Open Drone ID by chance?
Oh,
I haven't. I've got one or two of them, but I don't have that one, John.
Yeah, I'm just curious because this app supposedly is on the Play Store, and I came across a thread on Mavic Pilots where somebody has said that certain phone setups can install this app and are now able to pick up DJI drones with on that app. Like you can actually see their flight path and everything. Patrick, I think this is something you and I might be able to take a look at. Did you get the app? I sent it to you.
I'm getting ready to download it now.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the code again?
I have Drone Scanner, which is the one that it's the app that the company that made the first drone module or whatever that you put in remote ID. And if you remember Ken Herron's video on that, they've kind of showed in that as at this point the software so far that it doesn't show exactly where the pilot's standing.
Okay.
But this is the first official, remote ID thing. There'll be more to come, and this, of course, there'll be firmware updates to that.
I could be totally wrong about this Open Drone ID thing, though, but supposedly if you're nearby and your phone can reach it, like a DJI drone, like that's been fully up to date, that has remote ID, should appear on there. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I see some people complaining about on the Mavic Pilots forum.
Hold it up again, John. Hold it up again.
John,
so
could you send me the link for that app and I'll try it out as soon as I can.
There it is. Open Drone. It's not for iOS. You have to have Android to use this.
Okay, then I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have just an aside to talk about with remote ID, and that now that it's on the DJI drones. The other day I was flying the Mini 3, and I got a dialog box on the screen that it said something about remote ID did not enable or something like that. So the drone still flew. It didn't change anything about how the drone flew, but it was a remote ID error. And
interesting.
It didn't occur till I was up in the air. I was already flying.
Wow. And so in that instance, a year or so from now, you would technically be required to land the drone because there was a problem with your remote ID. That's wild. That's wild.
So another question with regard to remote ID, and I don't know if any of you guys are going to know it, but so when remote ID is in full effect, will the FAA have a recorded record of every flight that we make with our drones, or is it just while you're in the air they can look at it and see it, or is it something that saves to a database someplace and they can say, hey, on January 29th, John Cuppi flew from point A to point B, and I'm wondering about that.
I'm going to answer that to the best of my ability. My understanding is no. The original proposal was that was beat. That this part of it got beaten. They wanted a third-party service provider for you to connect up to. It was called the USS, the remote USS. They nixed the entire idea because cellular data and all that crap, it was just too it was too much of a burden. It just wasn't technically possible. Too many issues with it. This is all broadcast based. If somebody has Open Drone ID on their phone and they whip it out, and I guess they can reach the signal on their I don't understand how that's going to work for the signals to be received, but I guess that has yet to be discussed. I mean, I say that because I have a tile, and Patrick and I have messed with the tiles and the Apple AirTags and stuff like that. And when you're out in the field in the middle of nowhere, all right, the tile has maybe like a 75-foot range. It can't see my phone. Granted, the DJI drone might be putting out a higher output power than the tile, so who the hell knows? But I wonder how far it can actually see. So I really want to get out there and go try this Open ID thing. I'm really kind of curious. I can't do it with my Air 2, right? Because Air 2 doesn't have a remote ID update, or no?
It did.
Or does it?
Yes.
I know last summer it got one. I know it put remote ID for Japan.
The last update gave so all three of my late generation DJI drones have it. So
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Okay.
but the FAA is not getting anything directly, and the service is not getting anything directly. If anything, DJI maintains a log that you can clear or whatever. And the FAA could ask DJI for that log in theory, I suppose. So that's something to look out for. But otherwise, no, you're not. When you're doing a live flight, you're not logging to any service. But if somebody whips out a phone, though, they can now get the flight path. Is the idea? They can get your flight path.
Makes sense.
And where you took took off from, pilot location.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting topic. We will have you come back in a future show, John. We'll get into it more deeply. Plus, I've read that there's been some, changes to, some the hobbyist flight rules too that we can go over too in a future episode here. So thanks so much.
Let's do it right now, Ron. No, I'm just kidding.
We got to go to the end of this football game. I'm watching it over here.
I'm just kidding.
Niners just scored again, DeMarco. Yeah,
someone else reported that they got a remote ID failure, by the way. John, Flying Flynn also got a remote ID failure message, Marcus.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's crazy.
There you go. We're going to look into this. I don't have Android, but I'll be keeping an eye on this. But anyhow, I want to thank John and Patrick for coming on with us to the bottom of this whole DroneMask thing. I don't know, we've kind of gave all the details out. It's up to anybody out there to decide whether this DroneMask is going to work for you or not, or if the price is too much. But all the information's been given tonight: the pros, the cons, the prices, and so on. So, you'll make your own decision. So, again, that's it for tonight. We're going to get going here. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. It's just a couple days away. It's going to be the Thanksgiving, the Black Friday shopping weekend. And next Monday, we'll be back on Cyber Monday. And we may even have better deals next week, right, DeMarco?
I hope so. I'm ready to spend some money.
Oh, I heard that. And we better get Johnny Drone Flyer in that show. He's anxious to spend a little
Hey. I have some breaking news.
Yes.
Ooh.
He made a purchase.
Someone hit the buy button. End the show.
Wait.
Johnny.
You got to come back next week to find out who hit the buy button. We'll see.
Someone hit the buy button. It wasn't me, by the way, too. But
don't forget to subscribe to Patrick, everybody. I threw a link
to
his channel down in the chat. If you're not subscribed to him, go subscribe to this man because he's awesome.
And make sure you don't even subscribe, but you watch a video for like 5 minutes so the subscribe sticks.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You got to watch it for a couple minutes. You just can't subscribe and move on. You got to watch a video for a few minutes so it sticks. So
and then go watch our full DroneMask video too.
Watch it twice.
Absolutely. And watch Marcus's video too.
John too. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much.
Take care.
Leftovers. Bring your leftovers next Monday.
Wait.